Hello! It is Gateway to Geats time, baby. Brand new video with a brand new episode. Hey. It's almost as if it happens every week. Hey, I'm sorry for the lateness of this one. Holidays are happening, but also, I'm sick. You can probably still hear a little bit of it. Things happen. But here's the thing. You're not here for me. You're here for my thoughts on an episode of Tokusatsu known as Kamen Rider Geats. So here you go. Let me go through it. So we come back into the show with Samiri giving the recap again, but this time she is not doing the recap in the family situation. She is in the lounge with the Game Master and Punk Jack, and basically is the audience for these two guys and goes like, hey, is it really fair for us to be doing this to Geats? Just like get rid of them and just go like, no, you're not allowed to play anymore. And the Game Master says yes, given the idea that the game has become less interesting because he wins all the time, which, you know what, if you're trying to make a game interesting, that's a fair assessment. After beating one of the Rider Jumatos in the previous episode, they're up in the loft area, the big circle in the sky, and Tycoon basically goes like, hey, yo, we got a big thing to fucking fight. Do you want to borrow the belt again so you can fight? Because, like, you are good. And I think that does kind of keep lining up with the secondary theme that we've been exploring in this arc, which is very much helping other people, teamwork, like that kind of vibe. And there may be there may be an element of like helping others, but the sacrifice of yourself, and like something like that, and like the limits of self-sacrifice. And everyone basically tells Tycoon not to, because of a variety of things, his desires, his memories, so on and so forth. And Neon basically goes up to Ace and goes like, you have a plan. I know you have a plan. But then we cut to the OP, and you know what? That's always a great time for me to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe on these videos, because hey, it fucking helps. But also, hey, did you know in the description there is a link to a 3.5 hour video of me, Boingo Rider, explaining everything in Marvel Comics? If you want to give it a shot and you want to give it a watch, click away. But we come back and our heroes are out and they're fighting some more baddies, all that kind of stuff. And Ace meets up with Punk Jack and goes like, hey, are you okay with losing? Like, yeah, sure, you're a plant and you're here just to beat me, but are you okay with that? And Punk Jack basically says like, yeah, because like that's my job, like I'm just here to do that. In fact, I didn't even write down a desire. It's like, oh, that may be a reflection of like work corporate culture of like, you just get beaten down, you don't have wants anymore. And basically says that once Geats is beat, he'll get his core back and he'll just get his memories, you know, it'll be fine. We cut back to Tycoon as he hears Jumato say the same line as the boss dude from episode 2. So they are linked to, the Jumato are linked to previous players. They are linked to the belts. They are linked to the cores. They are linked to those desires in some way, fashion, or form. The exact link isn't exactly known. I'm still leaning on of like their fertilizer for the plant people, but like they are definitely showing like, yes, we are harvesting these people and desires in some way for nefarious wants and for our nefarious plans. And then we have the mini boss show up with mushroom hands that just looked like a certain virus that we are all familiar with, and it's kind of funny. And basically, the mini boss is able to use some illusion things and basically confuse the players into attacking each other. And it's like, oh, that's not good, you know? That's not good. And we then cut to the gardener, and he's growing a general. We are getting a named like monster. We're getting a cool looking like pitcher plant dude named Rook. Looks cool, looks sassy. Let's see what happens. But Ace is putting two to two together and realizing that the GM isn't in full control because there's a variety of aspects, including mainly the getting the power up last episode. Is like, okay, the GM wants me dead, but the game doesn't. There's something going on here. And we're all back in the lounge, and they're all commiserating of like, oh man, we got beat, all that kind of stuff. And Neon's wondering if she is even strong enough, and Tycoon does, hey, no, we're working together, we're doing this, we're Kamen Riders, Tycoon being a good boy. But basically, she also tells Keiwa of like, hey, so I don't think she mentioned Ace, but equivocally for us, the audience, hey, me and Ace have already known this, but I think my family is involved in the DGP. Oh no, that's a lot of shit, right? And we get a flashback of her basically asking her two bodyguards to kind of like, hey, are you working for my dad or are you with me? And they go like, no, we're your bodyguards. We fuck with you, we don't fuck with your dad, you know, that kind of shit. And she goes like, all right, can you look into things? Because can you just find some information about this thing? And they go like, yeah, we'll write on it. We'll do that for you. And we then get a meeting between the Game Master and Punk Jack. And basically, the Game Master goes like, oh yeah, by the way, you need to get a Desire driver. What? But I thought I would just get my core if Geats was beat. Yeah, that was the original plan. And then you fucking told him the plan. So now you gotta go get the fucking driver. That's your punishment. Fuck you. And it's just like, alright, Jesus. Come on, man. No, what? You treat your employees like that, and you wonder why they'll turn on you. Look, it's basic labor etiquette. You treat your employees correctly, you pay them a fair wage, you give them time off, you give them adequate, like, proper working hours, and now fuck them around, and that, like, you treat your employees right, they're not gonna fucking turn your back and team up with the guy you hate and be like a fighting duo, you know? You know, sometimes you just gotta treat your labor correctly, Game Master. I don't know why you wouldn't. Come on. Get it together, sir. You have a mask? Come on. I would think you know proper labor etiquette. Come on. Cause and Punk Jack basically goes down not naked in terms of clothing, but no powers, and tries to get a Desire driver. He gets his ass kicked, and he runs into Geats, and they basically run away. And they're in a parking garage, like many a parking garage in Japan, where a Kamen Rider takes place. And the parking garage was not in Japan. We all know it takes place in Japan. And they basically commiserate, and Geats kind of just lays the cards out. It's like, hey, the reason I'm keep fucking with y'all is because you wouldn't just let me meet my mother. And he's like, really? Yeah, I couldn't write down my mom. Do you have any information? And he's like, Jesus. We cut back to Neon and Keiwa. And the bodyguards call Neon and basically go like, hey, shit's a little fucked. Because we found some cores. And we remember. We were writers in a previous DGP. And we see a little cutaway from them in like this, like the streetwear kind of tech wear costume, and they do little henshins. We don't get to see their suits. I want to see their suits. I want to see their suits so bad. But it's like, okay, this shit goes deep. We don't know how deep it goes, but they're implicated. Something's going on. how involved is Neon's father's company. But also, here's the thing. Earlier in the episode, we also got it revealed that Punk Jack, the whole reason he's in the company is because he's a failed musician, and his grandfather basically said, fuck it, you're working here now. This is a job, I got it for you. Shut up, don't complain. You know? Holy shit. So, like, there's a lot of corporate chicanery here. And now I'm thinking, oh god, with all the corporate bullshit and all the sucking of desire out from the people and all that kind of stuff, oh god, is this another metaphor for capitalism? I'm not complaining if it is, but is it? Because, boy, that's an interesting way to take it all, you know? But, we cut back to Punk Jack and Geats, and that's when we get the reveal of Punk Jack's backstory. And he basically goes like, all right, look, I'm already in trouble, so I can just fucking tell you this. Before Sumuri, the person who was the navigator to one kind of like telling the players what's going on was your mom. So, like, I don't know any more than that, but you're on the right path. And Geats basically goes like, all right, sweet. It was good to let your plan go through. This whole thing was a ruse. He just wanted to get information. And basically Punk Jack, in that moment's like, you fucking son of a bitch. God damn it. Aw, that's good. And like, I think immediately in that moment, Punk Jack's like, fuck it, I'll work with this guy. He's like, he's able to pull that off? Fuck yeah, you know? Then when the mini-boss shows back up, the game master basically asks Punk Jack, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you working with Geats now? And he's like, fuck you. Fuck you, you mistreated me. That's why you always treat your labor right, buds. That's why you gotta treat your workers right. Or else they're gonna go team up with a Fox-themed superhero and then ruin all your plans. They'll also strike and create unions, which either way, you need to create a union, join a union, join your local union, join the union, do the union. We cut back to Neon and Tycoon, and they're beating the Yamato Riders with their power-ups. They're doing all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And Punk Jack and Geats find the belts that were dropped from those fights. Punk Jack grabs it, all that kind of stuff, but Game Master shows up and basically says, nope, you rolled a 1. Get it? Because he's a Game Master. Similar to the way a variety of tabletop role-playing games are called Game Masters. The people who run the game. All the while, Tycoon is fighting the mini-boss. It's a fun fight. It's a good fight. A lot of fun stuff. The fight scene's amazing. It has a lot of cool camera actions, all that kind of jazz. The GM puts on a brand new belt and henshins, and it's a badass, like, it's a bunch of cool floating things, and it reminds me of like some funnels from Gundam. It has a neat vibe like that. He gets a new suit. It looks cool. It doesn't have the same design language as the other suits, which, considering that is set apart, makes sense. But also, like, I like it when all the suits have like have a similar design language. You know what I mean? I like it when there is not necessarily like they have to look alike, but there's a design like Forza. All the riders in Forza have a similar design language. You know what I mean? Wizard's another example. Like, you can tell there's a similar design through line. Here, this new guy, I can't remember what this rider's name is, but the Game Master suit, it's similar, but not exactly. I think it's the helmet. The helmet's messing me up a little bit. Maybe not. I'm thinking back. Maybe this is just, it's not the same way the suits have been that's throwing me off. Because the suit looks good. It's a good suit. I don't know. Chalk that up to a nonsensical complaint. That's not even a complaint. A nitpick. Not even a nitpick. It's a thing that's there, and I don't know how I feel about it. It could be positive. It could be negative. We'll find out in the intervening times. We'll see. But I do have a wondering of, like, where does this belt come from? Is it like a last resort tool to, like, take care of unruly players, and he's misusing it? Because Geats hasn't been unruly. He's just been winning. And he's just like, fuck it. Put on the banhammer, you know? Is it a banhammer? Why didn't I think of that? Is it a banhammer? Is the belt something like that? But Punk Jack henchins, tries to fight him off. He gets overwhelmed, and the Game Master pops something off of his chest and flings it over to Punk Jack. The pumpkin falls away and is replaced with just a simple, how to best describe it? It's just a simple, like, mask, like a helmet mask, and glows red, all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, Tycoon beats the mini-boss, ending the round, meaning that anybody who doesn't have a belt loses, and Geats doesn't have a belt, so he's eliminated. The fuck? Geats is gone from the episode. The episode's done. Hi, I guess next week we're gonna be doing Trip into Tycoon, I guess. Because yeah, that's a cliffhanger. We end on just a big ass fucking cliffhanger. But we also end on, like, every episode ends with a rule, right? And this one is the Game Master cannot interfere. So we'll definitely see repercussions of what he just did. But boy, this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. It is a setup episode. It is definitively just a pure setup episode, but it doesn't feel like setup. They answer some questions, we get some new info, but every bit of information we get is also another question of, like, oh, the bodyguards find some information. They were riders? The fuck? The Game Master finally reveals that he can transform. How does he do that? Where does it come from? What is the mechanics of all that? We don't know yet. Holy shit, right? Oh man. We get some Geats mom information. Cool. We get Rook. Oh man, what's Rook's deal? What's gonna be the deal with Rook? So we got a lot of setup, not a ton of answers, but we got one or two, like, nuggets of information, so we're on the right path on some things, and we got a lot of things to learn. So it is a quintessential great setup episode. Hey, but you know what? That's not all we got. We also got some comments from the Vacuuminator mentioning that my praise of the camera work can be attributed to a specific director and choreographer for Tokusatsu, Koichi Sakamoto, who's done a variety of things for Forza and Power Rangers, yada yada yada, and basically just going like, hey, this is the information so you know it. And I'm like, hell yeah, fucking thank you, Vac. My friend Vac, go subscribe and like Vac's videos, go do it, because I love the work in this episode, and I'm partially wondering if, like, he's been a bigger part of the season, because a lot of the episode's been playing with the camera and doing stuff like that. So I wonder if he's just been a part of it, you know? And another comment we got from Fish Pop, basically kind of mentioning the secondary theme that they've been kind of drilling in the past couple episodes of, like, how working together is important, how no one person's on an island, and all that kind of stuff. And it definitely feels like it is cementing itself as, like, a secondary theme that can kind of easily layer on to Fight for Your Desire, because, like, how can you fight for your desire if, like, you have to have other people help for you? It's like, okay, so people have to work together and help each other achieve what they want, all that kind of stuff. You know, interesting things, interesting ways to look at human society and all that kind of stuff. But this has been Gateway to the Geats. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you give it a like. I hope you comment down below some of your thoughts on this episode, some of your thoughts on these videos, what I could improve on, what I could not improve on, what I could make worse. Tell me what I could make worse to make your viewing experience all the shittier. Tell me what I can do. And I hope you give this a subscribe so you can get this video and more. And hey, be sure to go watch that Marvel lecture. It's 3.5 hours. Had a lot of fun doing it. Had a lot of fun giving it to the people that were there. And until next time, stay gateway to Geatsing. I will never have an outro. I will not apologize for that.